Fundamentals of Pedagogy by Lucian Green 2 uses 6 of 30. 51. Dion. 2 uses is correct because of the writer identification of nature, which is correct because the subject should recognize different writers in the exposition. 52. Alexis. I prepared to say, wouldn't it be great if people correctly ordered my philosophy? I did this by writing Michel André's probable comments on Richard Rorty's probable comments on the line. I did this by writing the text-to-speech algorithm for the algorithm idea. I did this by writing the text-to-speech algorithm in the computational English argument in computational English. First, I asked whether this was a form of artificial intelligence, and said it should be called it then. Second, I thought the puffin ducks were cute. Third, I wrote that verificationism refers to verifying the text of the speech where the subject generates this speech from the text. 53. Dion. The subject shouldn't state that interpreted reasonings literally, as against figuratively, support the argument, where the subject correctly ordered the philosophy like equal-length struts that stay still. 54. Alexis. The subject should state that interpreted reasonings literally, as against figuratively, support the argument. 55. Dion. The subject cited authors who had written better arguments. 56. Alexis. I prepared to compute whether different texts had the same speech or the same texts had different speech, to which Dawkins replied, like what? To which I replied they are homophones and homographs, respectively. I did this by writing Richard Dawkins' probable comments on the press release for Richard Rorty's probable comments on the line. I did this by writing the text-to-speech algorithm for the algorithm idea. I did this by writing the text-to-speech algorithm in the computational English argument in computational English. First, I suggested using inductive reasoning to write the text-to-speech algorithm in your own programming language. Second, I would give it text and speech. Third, it would give me the rules, to which Chomsky replied, it's too simple, even I dislike it. 57. Dion. The subject didn't connect the sameness in uses, where the subject computed whether different texts had the same speech or the same texts had different speech. Dawkins replied, like what? The subject responded, they are homophones and homographs, respectively, like sturdy construction connecting that they both refer to sameness in things with strong glue. 58. Alexis. The subject connected the sameness in uses. 59. Dion. The subject should write well by joining the samenesses in uses. 60. Alexis. I prepared to query how the database is related to text-to-speech, to which I replied the subject would store the voices in databases. I did this by writing Richard Dawkins' probable comments on Richard Rorty's probable comments on the line. I did this by writing the text-to-speech algorithm for the algorithm idea. I did this by writing the text-to-speech algorithm in the computational English argument in computational English. First, I didn't want this own programming language business, it doesn't work, to which I replied it does. But statements like A is B plus C would become A equals B plus C, and pattern 1 equals pattern 2 would become pattern 1 matches pattern 2, where equals and matches would be single keys on the keyboard. Second, I wrote this would be complex and worse, to which I replied the more complex expressions should be broken down into their simplest forms, making them easier. Third, I queried how prologue is related to text-to-speech, to which I replied the subject would convert the text into phonemes using rules expressed in prologue.